Meanwhile, in Karnataka, the Congress has hit the ground running. On top of their agenda is to undo the BJP's key moves. They warmed up by raising chapters on Savarkar and Hedgewar, and then they scrapped the anti-forced conversion bill. With the cabinet giving its nod for both the purges, the political temperature is soaring. The BJP has slammed the alleged appeasement politics by what they call is the new Muslim League.
See, the bill brought by BJP in 2022, that bill is going to be repealed now. And the bill what we are now bringing will be in total in tune with the provisions of the Constitution.
Because we feel that whatever they did, it is not in the interest of the democracy or secularism. So naturally, they have to protest. Whatever anti-people, anti-secularism provisions they have brought out, that will be definitely taken up.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास ना तो बढ़ती हुई बेरोजगारी का उत्तर है, ना बढ़ती हुई महंगाई का उत्तर है, ना लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों में लगातार जो वो डेंट मार रही है उसका कोई उत्तर है। तो वो हर चीज का उत्तर पोलराइजेशन करने की कोशिश से उसका जवाब देते हैं। दिल्ली में यूसीसी की बात करते हैं, कर्नाटक में एंटी कन्वर्जन लॉ की बात करते हैं। वो सुबह से शाम हिंदू मुस्लिम हिंदू मुस्लिम हिंदू मुस्लिम करते हैं।
Now, the BJP has called the Congress not just the new Muslim League, but has also said that they have got down to fulfilling the agenda of the PFI. But is that really the case? Let me take this across, in fact, to Member of Parliament from Karnataka, Tejasvi Surya. All right, joining us on the show, we have a Member of Parliament from Karnataka, from Bengaluru South, Tejasvi Surya. Mr. Surya, as soon as the government announced that they are going to be changing the anti-conversion law that was brought in by your government, the party has said, your party has said that this is the new Muslim League, that it feels like Karnataka has turned into the caliphate. Isn't that a bit extreme reaction to say that, by rolling back one law, Karnataka has turned into the caliphate?
Well, Padmaja, the impact of this law is something that is going to be draconian and long-term for the state of Karnataka. My request to you is to please question the Congress party and the Chief Minister as to why they want to repeal this law which prohibits coercive, fraudulent conversion in the state. The Constitution of India, while recognizing the right to religion, freedom of religion, explicitly states that and recognizes the fact that there cannot be coercive and fraudulent conversion. This is a principle that has been held as sacrosanct by the Supreme Court in multiple occasions. The object behind the BJP government, the earlier government, introducing this law was to stop illegal conversions, unconstitutional conversions, conversions based on fraud and coercion. The only logical conclusion that one can draw on the Congress party's decision of withdrawing or repealing this act that prohibits illegal and coercive conversion is that the Congress party wants to very mischievously and dangerously alter the demography of Karnataka by supporting the missionary industry, by supporting and furthering the agenda of organizations like the PFI, which want to see a demographic change in not only the state, but the rest of the country as well. There cannot be any other conclusion that any reasonable person can draw.
The Congress's answer to that is, it's not as if they are not going to have an anti-conversion law. The Bommai government had brought in changes which made the law very draconian. For example, saying that anyone who wants to convert has to give a 30-day notice prior. For example, that any family member, so somebody is disgruntled with...
What is draconian about it? What is draconian about a 30-day notice?
Why should somebody who wants to marry out of their own will and convert have to inform the government about it in advance?
Because there are multiple instances where young people are being coercively, fraudulently trapped into marriages, trying to made to believe in a different certain manner by wrongful interpretation of facts and positions. To protect the interests of such people, especially young girls across religious communities, this law was introduced. This law was neutral in terms of its treatment to all religions. It protected equally the rights of a Muslim girl, so much so that it protected the rights of a Hindu girl or a Christian girl or a young man belonging to the Jain or Sikh community. This was religion neutral in that sense. What is draconian about a requirement which says that you must give 30-day notice before you want to convert? This is very, very clear, Padmaja. I have been saying this earlier. This government in Karnataka, the way it has been functioning the last 30-40 days, shows two things very clearly. In its economic agenda, it is Marxist inspired, and in its social agenda, it is mullah inspired. This is a mullah Marxist government in Karnataka.
So, in response to that, again, the counter would be that the recent results have shown in Karnataka that this mullah, Marxist, religion, Hindu, Muslim politics is not something that people in Karnataka bought. Now they want a politics of jobs, of getting government benefits, etc. Do you think that your resistance or your protests reviving those same issues is going to cut ice with the voters, with the people of Karnataka?
First of all, Padmaja, let me try to correct you that it was not us who tried to impose or bring these issues into public discourse. It was the Congress government under Siddaramaiah which first introduced the whole concept of celebrating a tyrant like Tipu Sultan. They introduced the idea of communal discourse in Karnataka by celebrating this tyrant. It was again the Congress party which dropped cases against organizations like the PFI and KFD and tried to terrorize and communalize the entire coast of Karnataka. So if at all there is one party that needs to be blamed for communalizing the elections and trying to polarize the elections, and most importantly trying to create a vitriolic, vicious atmosphere in the state's political atmosphere, it is the Congress party. The fact that they have won the election doesn't mean that history can be changed, that what they did earlier will be ignored, and that they can go on the same path. The Congress party very clearly wants to change the demography of Karnataka and the rest of the country because they believe that doing so will only further strengthen their vote bank. By repealing the anti-conversion law, the Congress party very clearly wants to pander to its vote bank and to strengthen its vote bank by changing the demography of Karnataka. This is mischievous and in the long term very dangerous for the state as well.
So let me finally ask you, the parallel can also be drawn that when the Nehru Memorial and Museum, its name is changed to the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya, then you say you're moving with the times. But when you have changes made to certain laws that the BJP government brought in by the Congress, this they say is their prerogative. Your government made changes in Delhi to what Nehruji had done. They are making changes to what you did.
What you are comparing? Come on, Padmaja, you are comparing absolutely two different things. The Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya, like the very name suggests, is not an ode to one single dynasty. The Congress party must start realizing the fact that the country has moved beyond the bhajan and bhakti of just one political dynasty. The Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya, like the name suggests, is a monument, a memorial in honor of all prime ministers who have served the nation, not just Pandit Nehru. Therefore, in order to honor and respect all the legacies of all the prime minister, the name has been changed to the Prime Minister Memorial, the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya. The Congress party must realize that world and the nation has moved beyond the bhakti and bhajan of one particular dynasty. And insofar as your comparison to the name change of the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya and the Congress reversing the anti-conversion law in Karnataka is concerned, I would very, very responsibly say that it is extremely wrong to make this comparison, while the anti-reversal of the repeal of the anti-conversion law has very long-term disastrous impact on the demography and the security interests and the society of the state of Karnataka. You cannot be taking this matter very lightly. And I want to say this again, whether it is the issue of the FCI, where the Congress has been presenting white lies every day, that the union government is trying to stop free rice from getting distributed in Karnataka, to the reversal on the NEP, to hiking the industrial electricity prices. All of these very clearly show the economic agenda of the Congress, if it is continued in full swing in Karnataka, is going to take the state on the same path of Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. So I say again that on its economic agenda, this is a Marxist government, and on the social cultural agenda, this is a mullah-inspired government in Karnataka.
All right, interesting. It seems that this is pretty much going to be the theme going into next year's elections for the Lok Sabha in Karnataka, at least. Whether the voters will buy it or not, we'll be keeping a close watch. Thanks very much, Tejasvi Surya, for joining me.